Hello friends, my name is Sonia. This is Sonia with an I, and today I am bringing you a book haul. Summertime often brings thrifting to me, so I have been doing a little thrifting and I thought that it would be fun to share my treasures with you. I have a very eclectic mix here, so there's a little bit I think for everybody, and I just thought it would be fun to share. So let's go ahead and do this book haul. I am going to have to put my glasses on to see the books. All right, so there we go. Haha, there I am. Some of these books are books that I plan to keep and read, and some of these books I plan to put in my Pingo shop, which I will link in the comments. Some of these books I picked up because I thought, oh, maybe a friend would want to read them. So there's a lot of, not really a rhyme or reason for each and every book, but you know, it's kind of varied. So let's look at these books. First of all, I picked up Potluck Cookery by Beverly Pepper. This is from the 1950s. I love vintage cookbooks, and I found this for like a steal. Most of the books that I have, you know, I've either found at a local thrift store that I call my honey hole, or I have some of them I bought online, and I'll get into that a little bit more. I also have a little collection here. Sorry, as I reach around here, I have a little collection here of Harlequin Janet dailies. I have so many friends who read vintage romance books, and I picked these up thinking, well, if somebody wanted them, they could have them. If I don't really have an interest, then I probably will put them on my Pingo shop. I don't really have an interest to read these, but some of these covers, my granny used to read these. I used to pick on her for reading smut. No, now I do. But yeah, these, she was like, oh, they're wholesome, you know. Anyway, my grandma is shaking her head right now, I'm sure, but she liked to read these white with the circle cover Harlequin romances, Harlequin Presents, and this was Wild and Wonderful, and look at that cover. She's gorgeous. I love that red hair. A Tradition of Pride, The Thawing, is it The Thawing? Yes, The Thawing of Mara, which, once again, there's a cover there. She looks like she's 16 and he looks like he's 60. Oh, whatever. Oh, he just got more light. Let there be light. A Land Called Desert. Desiree. I teach English. A Land Called Desiree. Now, being a Missouri girl, I love this title. Show me. And this is the 200th Presents volume. And I love that cover. It's very 70s looking, actually. And The Lancasterman. This is a silhouette romance. All Janet Daly. Then another vintage book by Victoria Holt. We have The Devil on Horseback. And this is hardback in great condition for its age. This is Frank Yerby, and when I did the vintage books at the bookstore, at the used bookstore, the Novel Nook, I found a lot of Frank Yerby's, and I saw this one. It's called The Goat Song. It's a novel of ancient Greece, and there's a picture of Frank on the back there. He's too cool for school. Yes, and this is in great condition. This is an old book, and it really is in fantastic condition, from 1967. So when I say old, I don't mean to be insulting, but 1967 is, you know, over 60. It's about 60 years old, isn't it? Almost 60 years old. So, the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society. I bought about 3 of these because I really wanted to read this, and I know I need to. I gifted one to my friend Laura because I want to buddy read it with her. Eventually, we'll get to that. Heather Graham, The One Road West. It has this picture here. My buddy Storm at Storm Reads. I'm going to link her, but she likes Heather Graham. So anytime that I find a Heather Graham, I usually pick it up. If it's just, you know, a few, you know, under $1, I'll pick it up and see if she has it. And if she doesn't, then I usually send that to her. This was an eBay purchase, which was a bundle, but Gladys Taber, Spring Harvest, a novel. I borrowed this from the library. It was the only ebook. This is the only ebook of Gladys Taber available. I read it, and for Retro Romance Readathon, I really loved it. It is a novel. She normally writes nonfiction. It is a novel. I did enjoy it. I like her not. I think I like her nonfiction a little bit better, but I'm so excited to have my Gladys. This is to add in my collection. So my collection is right behind me here. And this will be going with my collection. So I'm very, very excited about this. And this one I ordered from Pango because I love it when the Pango people write like nice little notes. I ordered this from Pango because as a Pango seller, you get Pango bucks and you can buy books, you know, and get little discounts and whatnot. So this is Rogue Shift. This is by AJ Skelly. This is actually, there's a little story behind this because AJ, the author, it's not her real name, but I mean, it might be what I call her now, but I knew her when she was in first grade because she was in my cadet teaching class. So when I was a junior in high school, she was in first grade. And I remember her because her mom was a teacher as well, and she was in elementary school, and then her dad was my school principal. So I picked this up by AJ Skelly. It's called Rogue Shift. It is a, I believe that it's a young adult fiction book, fantasy fiction. I'm looking forward to reading It's the Wolves of Rock Falls. I know several people from my hometown have read this because she's a local author, and I just thought it would be cool to pick up. So I picked this up. I did, like I said, ordered it off of Pango Books. And then Annie Raines is the Finders Keepers Library. Anything that has to do with a library, has books on the cover, is usually like catnip for me. So I saw this. It looked very cozy. It looked very cute. I believe it's women's fiction. And every once in a while, I like a good women's fiction. We have Jake, a novel. This is by Catherine Murray. This picture just drew me in, you know. I mean, just tall, handsome fella looking out, you know. This is a Christian fiction book, and it's a journey, and I like a journey sometimes. So I thought I would check that out. I'll probably read it. I think I will anyway. This is The King of the Castle by Victoria Holt. This is a vintage book. The vintage books, the Victoria Holt, the Frank Yerby, both Victoria Holts will go to my Pango shop. This is in great condition. It has the dust jacket. Then this was with the Spring Harvest, I also ordered this book, and this is Gladys Taber's first book that she ever wrote. It's called Especially Spaniels, because she raised dogs. She raised cocker spaniels, and she often talks about cocker spaniels in her books. And this was the first thing that she wrote. So I thought, oh my goodness, I have to have this. It was written in 1945. It's put together, I mean, it has some damage that is not in great condition. Apparently this was given to Tina, which is funny because that's my best friend's name. And it had a little Dennis the Menace cartoon kind of taped in it. And there's another cartoon here in the back of it that was taped in it as well, like How to Housebreak Your Dog. I thought to me, this is a treasure. You know, most people would look at this and be like, oh, that's not in mint condition, or that's not in great condition, or whatever. Whatever. I don't care. This is Gladys Taber. It's, you know, a treasure to me because this is her first book. I will eventually read this, even though I don't want to raise dogs. I love dogs. I don't want to raise them. This also came in that lot, and it's called Chicken Every Sunday. And this is by Barbara Taylor, I believe. Rosemary Taylor. I'm sorry. Barbara Taylor was a friend of Gladys Taber Taylor. Yeah. But Chicken Every Sunday, and it is My Life with Mother's Borders. And this was written in 1943. And I picked this up thinking, oh, I'm going to read this wholesome book. You know, took a little break from the Blue Barbarians and read the first chapter, and I opened it up, and I'm at the coffee shop. I'm just going to paint the picture. I'm at the coffee shop. I'm going to read my wholesome book, you know, feeling very kind of cottagey that day. And the very first chapter, chapter 1, is called A Little Sin at Midnight. And as I read, it's basically about a businessman and a teacher who were both boarding with her mother, but then at midnight, a Vodio dough. You can like put the dots together, right? I messaged my good friend Sarah. She thought this was hilarious because I'm over here trying to not read smut, and here we go, vintage smut. It wasn't that bad, honestly. It was very very kind of wholesome, and as wholesome as you can get with people, you know, hooking up. They were, I won't tell the whole thing because then it gets spoilers, but you know, I'm looking forward to finishing that. I did start it. I got distracted by some other books. Do you do that? Like, I get distracted by other books sometimes. Yeah, I did that. I bought this one at Half Price Books because I like this series. I've read 1 and 2, and I have the 4th one on ARC, but I haven't been able to get the 3rd one. And at all the library accesses I have, I can't get this book. I found it at Half Price Books, and I was like, here, I'm going to actually read Public Anchovy #1 by Mindy Quigley, which is part of the Deep Dish Mysteries. I really enjoyed this. The first book for me was kind of about 3 stars, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. The main character is very type A, and she's not really likable. Not that type A people aren't likable, I didn't say that, but it was hard for me to like her. Now, her best friend's name is Sonia, even though they spell it wrong. And now anybody that has a best friend named Sonia, you gotta know they're pretty cool people. So, pick this up. Definitely going to read this because I want to continue the series. The next book that I bought this on Pango too, and this is How Do You Live? And this is by Genzaburo Yoshino. And I am a huge Studio Ghibli fan. I love Miyazaki, and they're currently working on making a movie of How Do You Live? And I thought, I want to read it before I watch the movie, because most of the Studio Ghibli movies that I've watched, I read the book after. Like Kiki's Delivery Service, I read the book after. Howl's Moving Castle, I read the book after. So I really wanted to read the book first before I saw the movie. And if it comes out in theaters, Dan and I will go see it because he's a Ghibli fan as well. I bought this one also on Pango. It's called A Wood of One's Own. This is by Ruth Pavey. If anybody was going to make anything in color schemes that scream Sonia, this is it. These are like my favorite colors together. Just the cover of this drew me in, but it's about this woman lived in downtown London, very city, and then she goes and buys a plot of land, and it's kind of her journey to find herself through living on the earth a little bit. And that's totally my jam. And when I'm in a mood for that, yeah, I'm going to be doing that. Then my friend Laura gave me this Peter Pan book, and this is the Minolima, sorry. This is the Minolima. They have several releases of these books, and it has like all these little things that you can do, like you can open up and whatever. And she's like, you can keep it, you can put it on Pango, do what you want to do. She just didn't want to keep it. I'm going to play with it a little bit, and then I probably will eventually put it on Pango, just because I'm not a big keeper. It wasn't a gift, like a sentimental gift. She's like, I need to get rid of some books. Here you go. You know how that is. Laura is from Laura Reads. If you're not familiar with her channel, please go check her out. She has a travel channel called Show Me an Adventure, which is just an incredible, she does some amazing trips and films it all and shares, and she's just awesome. So go check Laura out. I love her to pieces. Then we have The Abominable Snowman. This is by R.A. Montgomery. You know, I like ice planets. So I found this, I giggled, I found this, and I was like, yes. My Dan and I like to take these books and just kind of sit on the couch together and read read through an adventure and then choose one, and the other person choose it, and we just kind of do that. The last time that we did that, though, we just died in all of them. So it wasn't very, wasn't very fortunate for either one of us. Then I also have In the Study with a Wrench. This is a clue mystery by Diana Peterfront, and my friend Amy at Amy Marie Reads. I adore her. She is such a sweet friend, and she really enjoys this series. And when I found this at a thrift store, I was like, okay, I'm going to pick this up because I've heard her talk about this series multiple times. Clue is my favorite game. It's my favorite board game. I love the movie. I love the play. I thought, okay, I've got to check this book out. And like I said, Amy loves these. If you don't know Amy, go check out her channel. I'll link it. I'll link a lot of channels today. I picked this up as a gift, and if she's watching, then she'll know, but maybe she won't watch this one. We'll see. But I wanted to share it with you guys because I just thought it was so darling. I picked this up at a thrift store in my hometown. It's called Mitzi and the Terrible Tyrannosaurus Rex. And you know who I'm talking about, don't you? Mitzi reads and writes. I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get that. So this is by Barbara Williams. Very cute little weekly reader book. I mean, does anybody out there remember Weekly Reader? Come on. And it's from 1982. But I just thought it was so cute. I thought the little girl was so cute. And it said Mitzi's name on it, so I picked it up. Then this was another part of an eBay purchase. And it is my girl's Still Meadow sampler. This is my girl Gladys Taber. I already own this, so more than likely it's going on my Pango. It was in a lot, and it was a book in a lot that I wanted. So yeah, this is Gladys Taber, Still Meadow sampler. I have read this was my first. So I get sentimental. This was my first Gladys Taber. I adored this, and I've gifted this to a few people. I've gifted because I've found other copies, but I absolutely lied to you. I did not get this on eBay. I did not eBay this. I got this at Half Price Books. You know, I don't know what I'm doing. Look at me being a liar over here. Anyway, sorry, I'm a total liar. This came from Half Price Books, and I picked it up because it was Gladys Taber and it was a good price. Then it's probably, like I said, going on my Pango. This is Gladys Taber in My Own Cape Cod, same place. And I have not read this, but I already own it, and it will probably go in my Pango shop. So many people, when we were doing the Gladys Taber week, wanted, you know, where do you get Gladys Taber books? Where do you get Gladys Taber books? So if I find them, I pick them up. I don't, you know, the markups on some of them on eBay and things are ridiculous. I don't do that. I mean, I do price it, so, you know, I'm not in a deficit, but I do try to price them fairly. So then I also have Gladys Taber's Still Meadow cookbook, and look at the back of that. Isn't that amazing? This is her kitchen. I have this book already, but my version is a little bit different, so I might hold on to this a little bit and peruse through it. I actually have a video, and if I remember, I'll link that in there, of me cooking from this Gladys Taber cookbook when I made the blueberry buckle. And I believe that I've made a strawberry shortcake from this too. So this will probably go on my Pango. Now, and that's all of the books that I have. So thank you so much for joining me on my little book haul. And if you like this video, please like. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I try to film videos about once a week, even though I've been slow on it lately. I really appreciate you being here. I love this. This is so fun. I love the community that's here. Please go check out any of the YouTubers that I mentioned, and let me know if you've read any of the books that I've talked about. Do you own any of the books that I've talked about? Do you, would you like to? Just let me know. Anyway, I am going to get going. Have yourself the most amazing day. You make the world a better place just by being a part of it. I appreciate you being here. I thank you very deeply from the bottom of my heart. And until next time, happy reading. Goodbye now.